Okay, here we go. Crimson Desert. All right. Desert. Pros and cons. Oh, yes. Pros. And then con. Oh, I'm gonna have so much fun doing this. Okay. Okay. Bulleted list. Oh, wait, no. We could do it here. There we go. All right. Okay. Here we go. So, like I said before, we hit the credits. We officially hit the credits. And it's time for the review. It's time to list all the stuff that I really liked about the game and all the stuff that I didn't like about the game. I'm going to go in hard on some parts. I'm going to be very extra constructive on other things. And yeah, are you guys ready? I just want to make sure that we're all ready to go all at the same time. If you're ready for the review, give me a lowercase or uppercase R, whichever you like, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna go ahead and do it. So I want to make sure we're all on the same page, because this is something that people have been asking me like almost every single day, almost every single hour. In fact, in one stream, I had a total of 600 requests of asking about my thoughts about the game. And this and that. It's been nuts. It's been pretty crazy. Okay, my review of Crimson Desert. My review of Crimson Desert. My overall rating is that it was all right. Thanks for watching. Sick. Okay. Anywho, I think Crimson Desert. And just so that way no one thinks I'm crazy. Hold on. I got to show off how many hours that I have in the game. Let me go ahead and show it off really quick. I have approximately 163 hours. 163.2 hours. Okay. That's how many hours I have. 163.2. Okay. Crimson Desert is a very ambitious game. A very, very ambitious game with most of its targets met. Most of them. Not all of them, but most of them. I think that this is probably the most... Now, I might go back on this, but this is probably the most beautiful game I've ever played. I think it's the most beautiful game I have ever played, hands down. Hands down. Now, you're watching from, a streaming perspective. So, unfortunately, the 8K bitrate won't do you justice. Even on my YouTube channel, which I'm multi-streaming right now, even that, I think that's like a 15,000 bitrate, that won't do it justice. The only thing that'll do it justice is if you play the game yourself and see it in front of your monitor. This is most likely I think this is the most beautiful game I've ever played, hands down. RGM, thank you so much for the resub. I appreciate it. Thank you. The most beautiful BEA game I've ever played. The most beautiful game I've ever played. Okay. Now, this game absolutely nails view distance, the immersion in close distance, like biomes, forests, rivers, deserts, jungles, rainforests, snowy areas. It nails it. It does this like a supreme job of convincing you which biome you're in. It actually looks like it. It starts to feel like it, and it doesn't look like there's any shortcuts. It's like I usually really pay attention as hard as possible to see if there's like any shortcuts with these biomes. Do they put the same animals everywhere? You know what I mean? Do they get kind of lazy with it? They meticulously created these biomes in a way that every single biome that you go into has the respective animals that go along in those biomes. And at the same time, like outside of the biome, just looking at like, you know, the sky and the air, like fog and all that stuff, it fits with the separate areas that you go to. Every single area you go to feels alive. Every single area that I went to felt alive. There's always some animals doing stuff over there. There's some bandits doing stuff over there. Sometimes you'd see some random shit cross the way. You see some random merchants coming by. You know, like it feels alive. This is like, oh man, how do I explain it? It feels more alive than Kingdom Come Deliverance. And like it feels, I want to say like it's almost on par. I want to say it's like it's on par with Red Dead Redemption, but on Crimson Desert, it's more on the nature aspect of things. Mainly the nature stuff. So you're not always going to find people in every single spot. You're going to see a whole bunch of like you're going to see herds of animals doing this. They're all going to be drinking a bunch of water. Da 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 da. Like it actually feels like you're going around in the world. So we'll do the world feels alive. Okay. Other pros. This is the type of game where you feel like you can do anything. You can go anywhere you want, most of the places you want. Very Breath of the Wild like. They implemented the freedom of like Breath of the Wild. You can go anywhere, you can climb anywhere. As long as you can manage your stamina, you can pretty much go anywhere you want. Some things will be a little bit more treacherous because of the fact that, like, you know, sometimes you'll need like some abilities and stuff, but you can bypass that if you get a little clever with it. So you can actually just explore if you want to. You can just go anywhere you want. You can legit go everywhere, anywhere you want. You'll have a lot of events happen, but keep in mind some other events won't happen because they're locked behind quests. But still, you can go around, you can explore, you can get the checkpoints, you can see all this shit. It's pretty cool that they don't restrict you, based on your quests. As far as you can see in this game, that's where you can go. That's where you can go. Unless it's outside the boundaries of the map where it's like the DLC area, then they won't let you do that. So we're going to put total freedom. Almost. World feels alive. Immersive. Immersive levels high. Okay. All right. The style in this game, combat system, which can, you know, it's like, you know, swords and weapons and this and that. You have a variety of weapons that you can use. You can even go unarmed combat if you want to. They got some like goofy like wrestling moves you can do. There's a lot of ways to fight in this game. Range attacks, you can mix it up. You can put all sorts of abilities on anything you want. On anything you want. And you can get really creative with how you fight enemies. I think the freedom of combat in this game has gone very, very well. You can put everything into one weapon. You can put everything across 3 weapons. And you can get really creative with it. So, combat system is very creative. Gives the users their own imaginative builds. It's pretty sick. Once you start getting the really cool shit, it starts to feel like you're playing Path of Exile. like putting like gems on weapons and seeing like, you know, all that stuff. Okay. You know, and if I miss something on pros, we'll come back as well. But other pros. Oh, let me actually put total freedom. Almost. View distance is insane. Okay. Music. Music's pretty cool. I would say music is above average. Some memorable tracks, but mostly filler music. I want to say, you know what I mean? I think music never really stood out in this game. There were like one or two tracks that were like, oh shit, this is sick, but then it kind of goes away and you get like, you know, some of the other ones. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I guess, I mean, in Crimson Desert, you have a lot of activities. There is a lot of activities. You can fish, you can arm wrestle, you can invest your money, your gold in the bank to see if you might hit it big. You can do a little bit of gamba if you want to. There's a lot of archery contests, like melee sword contests, spear contests. There's like arena tournaments that you can do in this one with bosses at the end. There is... You can go hunting if you want to. If you want to go look for specific animals, you can go hunting, this and that, and there's all these systems where you can make money off of it. There's so many different ways to make money in this game, consisting of just different activities. It always feels like there's something to do. It always feels like there is something to do. Like when I did the gamba stuff, it took me a while to learn it, but then when I finally learned it, it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun. So I want to say, many activities. That's about right. Activities to do. So gamba, fishing, hunting, bounties, etc. Lots of stuff. You could be a bounty hunter if you want to. You can do that. Oh, another pro. Side quest. Side quests. Most side quests are worth increasing inventory permanently. Oh, I fucking spelled wrong. Permanently. And boss hunting. Some stories are okay though. Side quests are worth. Side quests is definitely the time sink of this game. Side quests that lead you to go here, there, and exploring everything. Side questing is like the gateway drug. The moment you start doing that, you start getting sidetracked on everything else. It starts pushing you in different directions. And then before you know it, you never turned in that side quest, but that thing started everything. Now you're going everywhere. Let's see what else. Oh, you can recruit many pets. Dogs, cats, mounts. The amount of cats and dogs they have in this game is actually kind of crazy. So if you just want to like own like an army of pets, you could totally do that. You can tame lots and lots of dogs, lots and lots of cats, and you could basically just have fun with it. And there is a place when you go back to your your camp, you get to see all of them, and it's just really cool. It's really dope. Plus, they help you pick up items and stuff. They help you with like picking up like inventory stuff from like different bodies, and it really is helpful. They don't do it all the time, but it's a huge help. It's a huge help. Let's see. What are the pros am I missing here? We talked about the combat system. Did I miss on anything? I don't remember if I did. Did I miss on anything else? Let me think. I guess we can start with cons now. Oh, puzzles. Oh my god, why did I not think of puzzles? Puzzles are insane. In a good way. Okay. Sorry, I'm a little out of it right now. The puzzles in this game are some of the most creative puzzles I've done in such a long time. They're so much fun. They kind of put Breath of the Wild puzzles to shame. And I thought Breath of the Wild puzzles was like super fun. The puzzles in this game definitely makes you scratch your brain. But I also believe that not everyone is a puzzle solver. Not everyone can have fun doing puzzles, right? For me, I love doing puzzles as long as it makes sense. As long as it's clever, I have a lot of fun doing it. I think they definitely had... sorry, give me one sec here. One sec here. Sorry, one moment. Okay. Anywho. Right. What was I saying? I'm trying my best. I don't want to hear these birds. Maybe we go somewhere else. Yeah, I think we're going to go somewhere else. I think we're going to... They're making a lot of noise. Okay, let's go... Oh, I have an idea. Let's go to... Let me see here. Let's go somewhere awesome. Maybe... Yeah, let's go... Actually... Okay. Oh, yeah. I have an idea. Let's go to the abyss. Let's go to the abyss. Yeah. That'll be fun. And now I'm just gonna climb up. We're gonna get a nice angle of the whole world. We're just gonna keep going up and going up till we get a nice view of everything. And we got some good music too. This looks good. Can we sit? I wonder if I could just like sit down. That would be nice. Ooh. Okay. Hey, a little bit of vertigo for the chat here. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, perfect. Okay, nice. Let me get the thing out here. All right, cool. Okay, so puzzles are insane in a good way. Brain scratchers. Meant for puzzle lovers. Meant for puzzle lovers. Okay. Meant for puzzle lovers. Mint? Okay. Anywho. Okay, what were we talking about after puzzles? The cooking? We'll get to that in a moment. Oh yeah, no yellow paint. No yellow no yellow paint. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I guess now we can start with some cons. The cons of Crimson Desert. I think this is going to be on everyone's radar. Very first thing. UI. UI is some of the most unforgiving. The UI is probably the most unforgiving thing. Okay. UI is probably the most unforgiving thing in the game at the moment. The UI is probably the most unforgiving thing at the moment. The UI is the first thing that pops up. The first thing. Well, I guess like controls too. Yeah, controls can be pretty annoying at first, but the thing is, this is like after all the patches, okay? So the controls it's not that bad anymore. But the UI is definitely the most unforgiving thing in the game. The UI, the instructions of the game that it gives you, navigating through the UI is pretty rough. Like navigating through the UI is really, really tough. You'll spend a lot of time just looking for shit. One of the things that's like a huge pet peeve for me is this. Let's see if I can do it. So if you see my chess piece, right? Like, let's say if I'll switch it. Oh, sorry, hold on. Right, I have my chess piece here, but I have another chess piece right here. Because I guess it's purple. So they don't like group up with each other. Which is weird. You have helmets here, but then you also have helmets right here. This is a pirate hat, right? So if I just want to like switch it to like something else, I don't know. I could just switch it to that. You know, but then I'll have like an extra helmet down here, and I can't group this with anything else. Sometimes the icons of your helmet, your chest piece, even your food, it will change based on if you have anything of that icon left. So what is this? This is marbled meat. So if I do this, right, you see how I just dropped some? Now it changed. Now it's a picture of a fish. So when you go into your inventory and you start looking for stuff, you'll remember. And the first thing in your head was like, okay, it should be a meat icon. It should be a meat icon. But now I can't find it anymore. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Now you feel like a fool. You're trying to, I'm like, am I an idiot? Where the fuck is it this? Oh, it's a fish. Okay. All right, let me take a look at the fish. Let me go ahead and just do that. Okay, I gotta go look for where was my food again? Where was it? Is this it? Oh, this is it. Same thing happens with provisions. Same exact thing. When you run out of food, it changes icons. It keeps fucking changing. So, sorry. I was 160 plus hours and I still couldn't find anything. I'm always like looking for items and stuff. Usually when you group, I think grouping items, I probably shouldn't have never grouped items. I think grouping items makes it way more confusing for me personally. I think having them all laid out, well, honestly, both ways kind of suck anyways, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, same goes for, yeah, pretty much everything. Your weapons as well. Your weapons will always change. You know, like everything, like the icons will constantly change. So it's really hard to find all that stuff. Trying to navigate through like your journals and stuff. Like sometimes it'll say you got knowledge. It's like, okay, you got knowledge. You want to read more about it. You try to go to knowledge. Where the fuck is it? This is the part that gets really, really frustrating. You don't, like, you have to sift through and find you have to find that one thing that popped. Now, you could do this. The game does have a notification system where it tells you what, like, some of the last couple things you did, but it is very limited. You can't go back all the way into, like, the past, like, all the way to the very beginning of the game or whatever. Unless they changed it. I'm gonna go as far back as I can. Oh, they did change it. Oh, okay, never mind. Awesome. They changed it. They added, yeah, look at this bar right here. Check this out. Because back then, you were only able to go back like 10 segments, and that was it. But it seems like they added this whole thing. Wow, that's crazy. I mean, I wish you could actually just like skip it really fast. Just click this and then scroll down, but I guess you can't do that. But anywho, like I said before, the UI is hard to navigate. If you're trying to see what kind of knowledge you learned, you have to look for it. If you want to see what type of challenge you did, you gotta look for it. It takes a bit. There's a lot of like extra buttons that you have to press to get to where you need to go. It's a lot of actions. Clicking start, going to here, going to there, going to here, scrolling down, looking for one single thing. I think that was one of the biggest downsides for the UI. They made it weirdly encumbersome just to navigate through your options. For some odd reason. I don't know why. I know some people are saying, oh, they were going for like an MMO route. I don't think MMOs are that annoying. I really don't think so. But yeah, this made it really tough to see what if you want to keep track of something. And yeah, and so I'm gonna go with and of course when you do quests, when you do specific quests, sometimes you'll get a reward, but it won't even tell you. You'll just find it in your inventory. Most of the time, it won't tell you anything. Most of the time, you won't even realize you got something. My chat was telling me, "Hey Grims, you got that dragon cloak. Hey Grims, you got the spear. Hey," I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I look at my inventory. I'm like, "When did I get this?" I think a lot of people went through the same thing, and they found out about it, so they were trying to help me out, letting me know, "Hey Grims, you got something in your inventory," and that was the only way I found out. People kept telling me, you got something in your inventory. You got no. When I was doing the Abyss stuff to try to get like the imbue magic, it never told me I got anything. And chat was like, "Hey Grims, you got it. You got the fire now." I'm like, what? I'm like, why doesn't it tell me anything? It's weird. And when some of it does, it flashes by so fast that like as a human being, your peripheral vision isn't gonna pick up. In my opinion, I don't think it's going to pick up that one little section of the update on the right-hand side because you're too busy looking at the front and looking at the left, because on the left side of the screen is where a lot of the updates happen with like your shit, with like your UI and all that stuff. Some of the descriptions of the game of how to do a certain thing, it seems like I almost kind of want to say it's like bad translation. Sometimes it'll explain something, but it doesn't make much sense. There's a lot of like it seems like there's like a lot of keywords missing. Not to mention that there are also some instructions that are just straight up missing, like specific mechanics and stuff. It's just straight up missing. Some things they won't even tell you. I forget exactly which one it was. I think it had something to do with like flight or something like that, but it legit doesn't tell you at all. And obviously that could be fixed with a quality life patch, but the fact that it's been like that for a while, I mean that's the game, right? That's pretty much part of the game. I think it's fair to absolutely review that. So let me go ahead and get this thing here. Oh, 1 sec here. I'm really not a fan of this Windows, honestly. I'm still not a fan of this Windows. I still like the old Windows. Sorry, give me 1 sec here. One moment. How do I bring up that screen where I bring up all of the windows that just showed up? Is there any way I can do that again? That's kind of weird. I don't know. Oh, gosh. All right, 1 sec. Sorry, chat. Really sucks, man. Oh, is it Win tab? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Ugh. Sorry. Hold on. I'm trying to okay, let's try this again. All right, cool. Okay, so the UI is probably the most unforgiving thing in the game. Can easily deter new players unless the positives of the pros can outweigh the negatives. So in my opinion, I think the UI is easily a thing that could frustrate a player a little too fast, to the point where they don't want to deal with it anymore. That could be a thing where they don't want to play the game. But I feel like if you play the game enough, you can kind of deal with it. You know, once you play the game enough, it'll outweigh some of those negatives, and then you can have fun and you'll just deal with the bullshit. Yeah, even when you want to write a dragon tutorial, it didn't explain you can reset the timer to try again. Yeah, it just doesn't explain any of that. Maybe they missed it, maybe they overlooked it. Who knows? Maybe bad translation. I have no idea. Another con. Now this is going to be debatable because they did patch it. They did patch it quite a bit. Controls. So the controls of the game. The controls have inertia. Inertia. I spelled it wrong. Is that how you spell it? Inertia? Inertia. Oh. Inertia. Okay. Controls have inertia. Movement takes time to shuffle. Attacks take time to start. Jumps, slides, abilities, etc. Okay, so this is the one thing that I think a lot of people have problems with. Now, when you're playing, when you're moving around in your controller, you feel a bit of delay. A lot of people come to my channel mention that you feel like they felt delay. Like delays in their movement, delays in this, delays. Like you press something, it's kind of delayed. You jump, it's kind of delayed. I think they heavily relied on character inertia. So whenever Cliff is like running, you turn the other way, you want to jump, you have to wait for him to complete the turn and then jump. If you want to run and slash, Cliff has to run, and then you hit the button. Cliff has to get ready to do it himself to do it. Slight delays here and there. Jokin, thank you so much for the OG resub. I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's very similar to Grand Theft Auto. It's very similar to Red Dead Redemption. Movement inertia. Often confused for button delays. You have to... It's not delay. It's the character isn't ready to initiate it yet. You know what I'm saying? You have to look at their movements to see when they're about to do it. This is a bit of a turnoff for some folks because... in games like, with like action RPG games, you feel like, I use that term you feel like because I'm basing this off of viewers coming into my channel, comparing it to like Elden Ring and Dark Souls and this and movement and all that stuff. A lot of viewers tend to feel like games like Dark Souls and Elden Ring, when you press something, it immediately happens without delay. It immediately happens. When you jump, it immediately happens, right? They settled for more of realistic movement for this game, or what seems to be realistic movement, where you have to wait for Cliff to get ready to do it. He can't just immediately swing left, right, forward, back, all that stuff, right? So then you're going to get a lot of mistakes. You accidentally jumped too many times. You didn't jump a second time. Me personally, sometimes I have to spam jump to double jump. I usually am, you have to hold like the light or heavy attack to constantly attack. Sometimes I have to spam dodge just to dodge. Sometimes, you know what I mean? Like sometimes I have to do that because Cliff, the character, isn't ready to do those things. So sometimes it's like emergency, I have to do it, right? So you end up just spamming it until he finally does it. Sometimes when I'm in the middle of doing a combo, sometimes Cliff just doesn't continue with his moves. Now, I'm not really a fan of holding down the attack button to keep on attacking, because I like to stop attacking and to do something else. So the game is designed where you just hold R1, hold R2, and he'll just keep attacking. In a game like this, the combat system lets you cancel things into other things. You can do like combos from one thing to another. But it can be a little finicky. So like when you're pressing heavy attack and you want to do like an imbue magic attack, sometimes it won't work. Because if your timing is slightly off, nothing will happen. And that's based on like, the inertia on the controls, the inertia on the movement. Over time, when you play, you'll kind of realize the timing of it. I think it's like a thing that everyone has to get used to when they play like GTA or Red Dead. You get used to that inertia over time, and then now you know the timing. It just kind of happens like automatically. You just kind of just learn how to do it. So, while I like to believe that most casual gamers are really used to just like very, very instantaneous movement, instantaneous button pressing, I think this became an issue for a lot of players. Now, they did patch a lot of the stuff out that has like less delay. They did patch quite a bit of it, but it still exists in, climbing, jumping, attacking, combos. It's still there. So yeah, it controls can feel like it takes back. It kind of weighs the game down a little bit. But when you kind of get used to it, it's like its own thing to master. And when you get used to it and take some time, you can make it look really good. Unfortunately, even with 160 hours in, I still have problems with the movement. I still have issues with it. Let's put like a little star here. Controller sucks. No, controller is inferior to keyboard and mouse. Mainly because with controllers, you can't change your keybinds. So unfortunately, that means left L3, it has 3 different functions. L3 is crouching, L3 is hanging over the ledge, and L3 is shooting your claw. 3 different things on one button. So you might not get what you want if you're standing at an edge, or sometimes if you press it too fast, you crouch instead. That kind of stuff kind of frustrated me quite a bit. I kept it inside though, because I'm just like, I'll just deal with it. But that really frustrated me. Like I don't know why the game doesn't have controller inputs that you can change, because if it did, I would turn a lot of stuff off. I would turn off crouching. I would turn off ledge grabbing. And I would just do, this is a controller issue, unfortunately. The game just doesn't let you change your keybinds on controller. On keyboard and mouse, you can change so many things. You can actually change so many things, man. So keyboard and mouse has it pretty good. They have it pretty good. You can change a lot of abilities to just one key. Just one key. But they desperately need that for controllers. I don't know why they don't have that yet. But yeah, that's for controls in general and for the controller compared to mouse keyboard. Next thing on the list, what was I gonna say? Controls. The game is too beautiful. Too beautiful. I'll explain why. Overwhelming particles, lighting, you name it. So this game has like, think of it like you're at the 4th of July. You have all these crazy fireworks that are exploding in the air. Now imagine that happening every single second of your fighting. The lighting is crazy. The particles are nuts. Bro, the bloom is insane. When you fight, it looks like you're exploding into fireworks. It looks hella pretty and hella flashy, but you can't see anything anymore. If you get way too crazy with it, you're not going to see Cliff anymore. You're not going to see who the fuck you're hitting anymore. Now, there's a problem here. Because when that happens, the NPC, the AI that you're fighting, sees you all the time. So they can hit you when you can't even see them with all the crazy smoke and fire and lights and lightning and frost. All of that stuff. Too hard to see a lot of the time. So when you finally start getting like your abyss gears and all that stuff, that's when you'll start noticing a lot of special effects that kind of block your vision. It's overwhelming. It can be overwhelming. There's a slider for particles. That's great. That's actually cool. I like the fact that there is. I'm playing this on full cinematics, full everything. The maxed out graphics you could possibly play. Because in games like these, right? Like, normally you would turn stuff down because your computer can't handle it, right? But if your computer can handle everything, then you want to play everything on ultra. So I'm playing as what the game is intended, right? The game is intended for like max everything, right? That's kind of like their showcase. They want you to play that way. So I think it's okay to label that as a con, because if you do have to turn it down because it gets overwhelming, I think that's a con. I think that's a con. If you feel if you do have to turn stuff down, then that's already an issue because of the fact that you can't see shit. That's kind of an issue already. So yeah, the game is definitely the most beautiful game I've ever seen, but it's too beautiful. It's when a lot of the special effects happen, you lose yourself. You lose what you're looking at, and now you can't see it. It will happen. You'll get into a lot of fights at the fort, a lot of fights at night, a lot of fights in daytime, and you're gonna see a bunch of crazy effects happening. You can't see shit. Controller is inferior to mouse and keyboard because mouse and keyboard, you can change your inputs to anything you want. In controller, you can't do it. That's the part that sucks, man. What's up, Jay? Next con. Next con is... Hold on. The camera. Good lord. So the camera... Hold on. Constantly losing track of your character. What you're locking onto. Losing POIs. The camera. I've had many issues with this camera throughout my gameplay. Something I would keep in, though. The lock-on is rough. It locks on if your screen is kind of like... when your viewing screen is like towards them. But if it's slightly off, you don't lock onto them anymore. But the weird part is the game zooms out, it like zooms out, trying to compensate for the character being outside of your screen. It tries to zoom out to like look for the character. And then all you gotta do is just move your character or move your camera towards the person, and then it'll actually look at them. But it happens a lot, especially when you're fighting multiple characters. When you find multiple characters in this game, you have to kind of aggressively move your left stick and your right stick in the direction of the enemy you want to fight, and hope
there we go, carrot.
that the camera will stay there, and hope that Cliff will hit that target and not another target behind you or something. Camera here, I'll put like a star. Lock on features are lacking. Autobot, thank you for the resub. I appreciate it. Thank you. This is actually the number one issue why I decided not to fight the last formidable boss. We're fighting in a small arena with a bunch of shit in the way, pillars and this and that. And anytime I fight the boss, anytime I run towards the boss, anytime I have to get away from the boss, my camera is getting blocked by fucking pillars. It's getting zoomed in up Cliff's butthole with walls. It's rough. The camera needs a lot of work in this game. Now, you still get some really beautiful moments like this, right? You still get some very scenic moments where if a special event is happening, the camera will zoom out to show you like the beauty of everything. But when you're in battle, when you're chasing someone, when you're running away from something, running away from a crowd of enemies, or repositioning against a boss, you're fighting the camera boss too. The camera, in my opinion, needs a lot of quality of life. Lots of quality of life. It's also encumbersome. It's very encumbersome to deal with. This is also something that patches can fix at some point in the future, but it's very much part of the game, so we're gonna label it as con. Yeah, camera, it's pretty rough. Next con, main quest line is underwhelming. Now you guys might disagree or agree with me, but this is how I feel. Side characters, villains are forgettable. Actually, you know what? Let me save that for the next one. Main quest line is underwhelming. And side characters, villains, NPCs are forgettable. Okay. So we're going to start with the main quest line. Main quest line. I don't know if this is true. I have no idea if this is true. Actually, I'm going to look it up. Wow, Crimson Desert sells 4 million copies in 4 weeks. That's awesome. Hold on. Crimson Desert devs talk about. Let me see. I'm trying to find like confirmation of where I saw this. Okay, here we go. So this is on Recetera.com. Pearl Abyss CEO stated that regarding the AAA adventure game Crimson Desert released this month and creating a strong wave of popularity, we will strive to make it a game loved for a long time. Let's see. Will not read Q&A. We do agree to some extent with the disappointment users feel about the story. We also wish we could have done it better. The team tried to fill in the lacking parts within the remaining time, but ultimately we focused on strengthening the gameplay, which is our core strength. While expanding through paid expansions is good, there are also cases where expanding content leads to more sales in the base game. Okay, so that's the CEO talking about it. So the CEO agrees that the game story was lacking. The main, I mean, it's pretty much like self-explanatory. The main story doesn't really lock you in on a lot of stuff. It feels like there's multiple different storylines happening at once. It feels like you can't really latch on to a particular storyline. It changes. At one point, Cliff dies to the Black Bears. Another point, he's revived in this weird heaven thing and gets put back down to Earth. Then he's back to fighting more Black Bears again. Then all of a sudden, he's fighting like a mech. Now he has to help orcs kill robot bugs. Then it's all over the place. Then all of a sudden, you're fighting a lightning god out of nowhere. The hell? Now you're it's everywhere. It's literally everywhere. There is no adhesive to this story. You're going from one thing to another thing to another thing to another thing. And at that point, you just kind of sort of accept it. You just sort of accept that the main quest is just sort of everywhere. The very end, like the very last quest, is kind of like one of the only quests that ties in with the very beginning of the game. But other than that, this game is more like, honestly, I kind of see it more of like a sandbox where you're just going around from biome to biome, seeing different quest lines that are just happening and just seeing what random person needs help. And you just kind of like get pulled into those events, which is cool. I think that's cool. I think that really rewards, you're exploring. But the main quest line just didn't really have substance. You just sort of forget about like the whole abyss thing. You forget about the Black Bears. There's just like so many different things to do. You know, some of it kind of felt like it was forcing a lot of main quest stuff onto you, like liking the gray mains and this and that. And then other times it's just like, well, that didn't last too long. It wasn't really like, it didn't really feel like the characters were developed. So the story just didn't have any weight behind it. Move on to the next wacky story quest thing. Main quest line in this game is forgettable. It's pretty forgettable. It just, I don't know. Like I didn't really have any like shocking wow moments or this or that. It was just like, it was entertaining to watch, but it was just something that really stuck in my mind after that. It just didn't really stick with it. Is it a bad storyline? I don't think it's a bad one. It just doesn't stick very well. And it's too convoluted with all these other different quest lines that also just sort of like start and then it just ends. And the next one just starts and then it ends. It doesn't linger around. It doesn't have like a bigger effect on the main story. All the stuff that you're doing, like it doesn't have a huge effect in the long run. It just, you do this, you do that, it's forgettable. Do this, do that. Like you can, if you understand the plot, okay, that's good too. I don't think it's a bad plot. I think it's just executed weirdly. Main story, just be a good person. Explains in such a roundabout, disorganized, disjointed way. Yeah. This is the part where I mentioned that the side quests were so worth it. The side quests actually had, I want to say some of them had more substance than the main quest line. Sometimes if you have to help a certain person, like okay, for example, there was this one quest where like you had to help a couple look for their kid. And there's this mother that's just crying her eyes out. Where's my baby? Where's my baby? And the other guys are just like, I can't believe it. Like he's lost. Were they taken? Was the kid gonna be used for sacrifice, and it's like, holy shit, that's fucked up. We gotta go save this kid. Let's go save this kid. And then you go to the area, you find the bandits looking over a dead body, and it's like, oh shit, is that it? You kill off the bandits, then all of a sudden the thing that they were trying to sacrifice the kid for shows up, and you're fighting like this abominable mystical snowman that eats humans every now and then. And then an epic fight ensues, like a two-phase fight. You kill him, and then you come back to the family, and you're just like, sorry, couldn't do it, couldn't save your kid. And it's like that moment of dread of not being able to save the kid, but you fought a crazy boss. It's like very conflicting. It's like, I like that. I really like that. Although they did kind of ruin it by just having the kid be like, Mom, Dad, why are you guys crying? And they're like, where have you been? I've just been hiding in the hamper. What the fuck? Bro, I'm like, yo, you shouldn't have showed up, kid. You ruined it. You were better off having us all convinced that you were a goner. Like, that whole part was great except that last part. But you know what I mean? Like, there were a lot of quest lines like that actually was like, ooh, this is interesting. It felt more like you were in tune with like the environment, like the world, which is something I wish the main quest had. Like, I feel like the side quests and the main quests were like switched, you know? They were just like switched. So I really liked side questing. That's why I call my stream Sidetrack Desert, because I was sidetracked all the time. I wanted to do all the side quests, all the ones that really did matter. The Abyss is the adhesive to the story. The White Crow and the old guy asked you to task him restoring the Abyss because Caliburn was going to... Huh? Going around and stealing artifacts from the Abyss. He gave me an artifact. Bro, I would be so down. I would be super down with that story if it happened shortly after you were warned about it. They tell you about that stuff, and then you fucking forget all about it because you're doing all this other cool shit. All of this cool shit. You forget all about it, dude. That's the problem. It just didn't stick when you had so many other interesting things to do. It made this main side quest seem just like, whatever. I'll deal with that later. I'll do these side quests instead. You know? That's why the main quest line was just underwhelming. It wasn't really digestible. It was confusing. It wasn't consistent. It wasn't as urgent as it should have been. I think with the reward of exploration in the game made the main quest seem less important. And I think that kind of sucked because I wanted to get attached to a plot behind a game that made everything look insanely beautiful. You know? Side characters and villains and NPCs are forgettable. Bro, I'm gonna be serious. I did not care about Unka. I didn't care about Damien. I didn't care about Lanford. I didn't care about any of these characters. They all look generic. Most of these characters in the game just didn't have any defining feature that would make me remember any of them. Excuse me. They all looked generic AF. They all looked super, super generic. I'll do this. I'll do like, hold on a second. Companion switching was, or felt almost useless if you wanted to focus on main quests. What about Yan? Fuck Yan. He was annoying. I don't give a shit about Yan. He's such a pointless ass character. Oi, fuck you and your cunt flaps that I'm going to pound the other night. Fuck you, mate. All right, I'm gonna go drink some. I'm gonna go get drunk over here. Oh, Cliff. Oh, what are you doing? You fucking pussy, mate. Blah blah. Oh shit. Oh fuck. My arse is it hurts. I sat on a traffic cone butt naked. Let me tell you. And then he disappears. Brother, Yan is not memorable. Get the hell out of here. Some dude with just a foul mouth yapping and yapping and yapping. Hey, if you like him, if you like him, that's cool. That's cool. I don't think he was memorable. Not one bit. I don't think so. I think it was just like, I think they played too much on just a character with very vulgar vocabulary, but without any of the substance that backs any of it up. It would have been cool to see Yan like fight alongside Cliff and have like these crazy executions and like this and that while he was talking all this smack. It would have been cool to put him in like a very interesting like storyline that it would have been cool to put him in an interesting storyline that would show his backstory on why he is the way he is, like as a kid or whatever. It's like, oh, that makes sense. Now I have so much like empathy, you know? And like it made me more empathetic. Like Yan is memorable, but in a bad way, annoying as fuck. Okay, I agree with that. I do agree with that. I agree with that. Yeah, all the characters, I just don't feel like they had any staying power. I really felt like they didn't have any staying power at all. Especially with your companions, Damien and Unka. Oh man, let me tell you something. You'll see two different characters on the cover art of Crimson Desert, but don't expect to play them in your main quests. When you have Cliff and you're doing your main quest, you want to progress, you're not going to be able to play as them. They won't be there with you anymore. They have their own skill trees, they have their own stuff that they can do. You can invest in them, but beware. If you do, and you try to go to a main quest that you're really curious about, the game will kick them out and you'll go back to Cliff. Even so, while even when you do side quests, most of the time you won't even have access to them. I don't know why. Bro, I've been playing this, like I said, for 163 hours or 168, I don't even know. And I can't remember a time where I could switch to them freely and play with them freely. Just never happened. I tried many times throughout the first week. It was just characters unavailable, characters doing a main quest, characters unavailable, 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 unavailable. And I was like, I quit. I'll just play as Cliff. I just want to play as Cliff then. I'd rather just focus on Cliff. You know? I focused on Cliff. I finally decided to quit on the side characters. I'm like, okay, I don't want to do it then. Because, like, every time I got excited to play the other characters and this and that, or excited to have them with me, it was always disappointing. I never got to play as them, and when I finally got them to join my side, join Cliff, dude, they were useless. They barely fought anything. Barely. They were not useful one bit. And that made me sad because I was like, okay, I had this plan. I'm gonna make them both learn just grapple moves, and we're just gonna do fucking wrestling and just wrestling moves left and right, man. It's gonna be so sick. Like, let's charge in there, find an entire army. Everyone's doing wrestling moves. It just didn't work. It you know, the vision was there, but it didn't work with the characters, man. It really didn't. Actually, one thing ended up working. You guys will love this. I don't know if I have a clip of this. I'm pretty sure I do. There was one moment where I had to go find an NPC. I had to tackle the NPC, and then I had to get information from the NPC. I had Damien as my companion to follow me, right? So I tackled the NPC. I'm like, okay, now we can finally get the information. It took a little bit finding this character. Damien, the NPC that I asked to follow me, while I had the character down on the ground, you know, you have to punch him 3 times and then you do whatever after that. Damien murdered this NPC while I was holding the NPC. And I'm just like, I'm like, stop it, don't kill him, stop. Fucking murdered him, dude. And then it said quest failed. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Are you serious? I'm gonna see if I can find it. If I can find it. It was like the first 2 days, I think. Oh, no. You're under arrest! Wait, tie up. Oh, let me see if I can find,
Tie up. Wait, we got...
Oh, no. It happened, like, in the first city. Wrestling moves, throwing people off roof. It's like somewhere, I don't know. It's an old clip, but yeah, I was really disappointed that, you know, I was really hoping that it would have been more like Final Fantasy VII, like Rebirth or Remake, where your side characters would fight with you. They actually would end up fighting with you, and you can actually... Like, I think Final Fantasy VII nailed it out of the fucking park. You had 3 characters, and when you're playing as Cloud, you're about to do a combo, you can freeze time, switch characters, and then initiate a combo of their own while your main character's doing a combo. And then you can switch characters again, and you can do all, like, that. If they would have done something like that in this game, oh my god, that would have blown my mind. I would probably add an extra 100 hours. Like, no joke, I would. I think I really would. Being able to freely switch between Damien and Unka like that, freeze time and giving them a combo and then freezing time and then going with the other and then seeing it all play out. Oh my god, that would have been so crazy. But unfortunately, it didn't work in this one. It didn't work. Yeah. A lot of the other 2 characters just didn't seem like they had much staying power in the game. It just, I don't know, like they just, like, it barely ever gave me a chance to just play with them. It just never gave me a chance. And, you know, like, anytime it did, the game would, like, kick him out of my party because of the fact that, you know, I'm doing a main quest and it kicks him out. And yeah, that just makes me sad. Oh yeah, here, I found the clip, actually. I found it. Here, let me bring this up for you guys. Hold on. Here it is. So here's, I have the NPC. This is a quest NPC. I'm pretty sure. Wait. So you have to hit him a couple times and then you can tie him up. Then all of a sudden, oh my god, hey, wait, don't kill him. I need him for information. Whoa. He is a protected wit. Oh my god. This is why I work alone. Bro. Are you... Target slain. Bro, come on, man. I could not do this quest until I had to dismiss her. I had to tell her to go away. There's no way I could do it. Also, Grims, you're looking real sus right now. You look real sus. Please don't look at me like that. That's nah, man. No, man. But yeah, like, you know, I think that was a lot of potential. That was actually one of, like, the stronger points I was really hoping for that would happen. But unfortunately, it just, I think the execution was just not there. It just wasn't there. Instructions during crucial moments or bad translation. All right, what's another one that we can think of? What else? What else is another con? DJ Case, thank you for the 129 months. Welcome back, my friend. Thank you so much for the OG resub. I appreciate
Grim
you.
damn.
Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, homie. Oh. Forts. One V, 5,000 units. Okay. Another thing we need to talk about: fort liberations. Fort liberations. Fine. Fort liberations was something else. In the game, there are a couple of places that are filled with like hostile units. And if you want to liberate it, you have to there's a 100% meter that you have to knock down to 0 in order to liberate it, and friendlies will take that place. Simple enough. The problem is, it goes off of percentages, not the amount of units that are on the field. So what that means is you're either fighting 5,000 units, and it becomes like Dynasty Wars, which I personally love. I actually liked it. I had fun doing it. I actually had fun doing Fort Liberations. I actually liked it. But I think it's heavily flawed. You have to fight like 5,000 motherfuckers. A lot of it will be overwhelming. A lot of it will be incredibly tedious. It'll take such a long time. And sometimes you can clear out every single unit in the fort, but it'll still say 50% left, but there's nobody left. And the game starts sending you packs of units every now and then to finish off the 50%. And that takes even longer. I think the fort liberations definitely need to be tweaked. Now, a lot of you, I feel like a lot of you folks may have endured the horrific nightmares of the quarry. That's only the beginning. I think they overdid it. They really tried to make you into like a one-man army, and I think it becomes a little too much. Like, it gets a little too much. I think someone said in the chat a long time ago, this game doesn't know when to quit. And I think they meant like fighting all of those enemies to try to like liberate the fort. There's just too many, to the point where it does look like Dynasty Warriors. I mean, it could have been better if you can summon your companions all the time to fight with you. It would have been sick. But you can't even do that, which sucks. That hurts. The fort liberations are really, really tedious. If you have a really good setup, though, you can treat it like Dynasty Warriors, but I don't think that's a good excuse for the fort liberations. I think it was over tweaked or under tweaked, not in between. And the fact that you can't summon your own teammates to help you in that, just, I feel like that's a lot of potential that's lost, in my opinion. Extra bummer on this, if you use a dragon to do it, the game spawns a group of dragon slayers that shoot rockets and wreck you so fast. Really? But then you can use a dragon to fight the final Umbra boss that shoots lasers at you, and your dragon's just fine. Ugh. Having a dragon to clear forts sounds like such a fun idea. That sounds like such a wonderful idea. It could be like a side mini game you can do. Oh my gosh. That would have been so much fun. That would have been so much fun. And that would have increased more motivation to unlock the dragon. Or more motivation to unlock upgrades with the dragon. If you want to use it more often to clear more forts, time to get those upgrades now. Now I'm motivated to get the cooldown upgrades. I want to get all of them. I want to... Oh, it's always that one puzzle piece that they forgot to put in, you know? That they didn't put in. Oh. What else am I missing for cons? The economy feels doesn't feel impactful. Majority of items are incredibly cheap, yet eventually you can make hundreds, thousands of silver and will never feel a dent in your wallet. Now, there's one thing I want to talk about. Now, I love stealing in game. I love stealing the silver, stealing the boxes, increasing my money. Give me your stuff. What do you have in this? What are these in these drawers? Yeah, give me everything. Yeah, this is gonna be so much money. I realize that the economy in this game just doesn't feel all that great. Everything is cheap outside of research stuff. The moment you're rich, you're rich. That's it. Like that is one part of the game that gets erased. You can spend all your money on food, all your money on recipes. You can try to spend your money as fast as you can, but if you're always on top of selling stuff, you'll just never lose money. So it's just sort of stagnant. The dopamine feel of making a ton of money in this game disappears once you find your gold bar. It disappears once you start hitting the hundreds of silver because all of the other items are still dirt cheap. So, excuse me, instead of going out of my way to cook, I just buy food now. I just spam buy everything because I feel like it's not worth cooking. Which kind of brings me to the next thing. Cooking. Fun, but tedious. The cooking in this game, I think the cooking in this game could have been more fun. I think it could have been way more fun. They have a section where you can put in ingredients to see if you find something. Breath of the Wild did this. If you didn't have a recipe in Breath of the Wild, you can kind of throw some stuff in there and see if it makes something. You either make shit or you make a brand new thing that you learn a new recipe. I think that would have been super fun to do. Or if NPCs would have told you like, well, I hear if you mix something sweet with something salty, I think maybe you get something? I don't know. Oh, okay, let me do 5 variations of that. I figured out 5 recipes. Oh, that's awesome. They had that option in the game, but I feel like it's just overshadowed by just finding a bunch of recipes everywhere. You find recipes everywhere, and you can buy recipes in like all the towns. To the point where it just kind of makes like the moment of discovering a new food just sort of unimportant. Not to mention like, you'll be so filthy rich in this game, you'll just buy food. You'll just buy all the meals. And you'll never really spend too much time dealing with food. Although I did spend time making food, like stamina food. But you can just buy all of it. You can buy most of it. You could jump from every place and buy most of it. That it just sort of takes away the fun of cooking and discovering new recipes. Now, you could say, fuck that. I'm just going to go cook and keep cooking, and I'm going to just figure stuff out in the cooking stuff. You could do that. And that is actually fun. But it also kind of sucks that there's just like other ways to kind of like, there's other ways that make it seem like it's less important, you know? So at that point, you kind of have to do it your own way. If you like, you know, gathering all the ingredients and cooking yourself over and over again, you should just do that. But I think a lot of people will just buy food and not bother too much about that. I stole like 3 bars and was set for the rest of the game. Bought off everything. Yep. And then that in turn made me not want to steal anything for value. And that made me not want to cook anything because I would just buy food. Like, it just, I don't know, it just kind of took away a lot of that fun. I think it was a lot of fun trying to find recipes on your own, but as you play through the game, you're gonna find the majority of the recipes that will kind of take away that part of the of cooking, of discovering stuff yourself. I discovered one recipe by myself, and that was a lot of fun. I think it was like the hearty meal, and I put some stuff. I'm like, oh, I wonder if this will work. It's like, oh, congratulations, you found how to make this. I was like, oh shit, that was sick. And then like a day later, I find like 15 different recipes. I'm like, oh, never mind. Never mind. I think the cooking could have been more intuitive, more interesting. I heard from someone, I think it was like a company, I'm not too sure, but someone said like, well, Crimson Desert borrows a lot of mechanics from a bunch of other games. I think that's true. I think they most certainly did. They borrowed a lot of mechanics from a lot of different games and they combined it into one thing. And I think they did a good job of it. Some aspects might feel a little weird or weak, but I think the overall, it's pretty good. I think they did a good job on it. What else? What else? I feel like we covered everything. I think we got everything. Let me get the list here. Here are the pros and cons. What do you guys think? Do you think this is pretty good, or do you think more stuff should be added? I think this is pretty solid. Anything you guys want to add to this before we move on? The Abyss Gear item and item upgrading? I mean, those kind of, that stuff is pretty standard. We already talked about like the battle system of the Abyss Gear. We already talked about that. Item upgrade is basic, right? You get ingredients, bring it to the person, the smithy, they upgrade it for you. Pretty basic stuff. Nothing good or bad, right? Nothing amazing or boring. But yeah, man. I think that is my official review for Crimson Desert. While the game brings a whole new, like, ambitious. This is one of the most ambitious games I've played. Not the most, but one of the most. It's up there. And they executed it better than I thought they would have. I still think this is the most beautiful game I've ever played. This sets the bar. In my opinion, they increased the bar of how beautiful a game can look. Excuse me. So Witcher 4, Fable. The challenge has been set. Because Crimson Desert did it. And this shit looks almost flawless. So we're going to go through pros and cons really quick. The thing is, in my opinion, when you talk about cons, I think you have to be very constructive about the cons. Pros is something that a lot of people can relate to. And they have their own definition of what the pros are. But cons, I feel like there's a reason why I put more attention to this. It's because being constructive is very important to determine like what could have been made better. The pros of Crimson Desert. The most beautiful game I've ever played. The world feels alive. Immersion levels are high. Total freedom. Combat system is very creative. You can use your own imaginative builds. Music is above average. Some memorable tracks. Many activities to do. You can fish, hunt, bounty. There's a lot of shit to do. Most side quests are really worth and lead to some really epic moments, including bosses. And not only that, but it's extremely worth doing because it increases your inventory permanently and gives you sick armor and sick weapons. You can recruit all the cutie puppies and kittens and cats and dogs to loot with you, and you can make them look super cute. The puzzles are so amazing. If you're a puzzle lover, you will love the fuck out of this game. You will love it. And there's no yellow paint. The cons, UI is the most unforgiving thing in the game, as well with the controls having inertia. If you're not used to having inertia in your games like GTA and Red Dead, you're going to have some trouble. You can't do keybind customization in your controller. The game is too beautiful. There's like particle effects and a bunch of special effects that can block the view of your character. I'm going to show you in a moment. Sometimes you get all these special effects. You can't even see what's going on. The camera can suck quite a bit, unfortunately. Has issues with lock-on, have issues in small houses. There's a lot of issues with that. Like you'll kind of struggle a little bit with the camera. You can still do it, but you shouldn't have to. Main quest line is kind of forgettable. I mean, like you'll get the gist of it, but it's not really, it doesn't really stick as much as other quest lines in other games. Side character villains and NPCs are also forgettable. All of them look like generic NPCs. They have really cool moves and stuff. They have awesome names, but that's kind of about it. It's really hard to kind of have them part of like the memorable list. Fort Liberations is one of the most painful things to do in this game because it's basically Dynasty Warriors, but it takes a long time. The economy in this game doesn't feel impactful. Once you get rich, that's it. It's game over. You can buy everything. Like that obstacle is gone. The cooking in the game can be pretty fun. That depends on you, but most of the time, a lot of stuff overshadows the cooking. And yeah, I think that's kind of it, man. I think they did a wonderful job in Crimson Desert. I think, I remember when people thought is this game real? Is it actually real? And when I went to go play it at the event at 100 Thieves for the first time, I was happy to say, yeah, this game is fucking real. This game is actually real. Like everything you're seeing in the trailers, you're gonna see in that game, and they didn't disappoint. I think they did it really, really well. And I can also understand a lot of these cons that pop up because this game is very ambitious. They went above and beyond to try to make this game like stick out compared to all the other ones, and they did 4 million copies, bro. They sold 4 million copies. 4 million. Wow. Wow. Congratulations to Pearl Abyss for making such a banger of a game. For such a banger of a game. The game has attracted so many people and will continue to attract people today. Amazing. Amazing stuff, man. They pulled out a banger. They pulled out a banger. This is my personal review of the game. And to finally answer your question, should you buy this game? That really depends up to you. If you like these type of games. If you like these type of games, you played these type of games before, yes, you should buy it. If you haven't, you know, you should probably watch a couple streams, see if you like it, see if it might flow with your style of gaming. How many hours? 160. 160. Well, that's my review. Was I okay with my review? Did you guys like my review? I hopefully, I mean, I still gotta practice. I gotta make my reviews a little bit better. I gotta be more articulate with my reviews. I gotta be less emotional. That was a little bit too emotional. But I hope it helped. I hope so. Thank you for the review. Yeah, no problem. I don't rate games, by the way, because I feel like rating game I feel like a lot of people don't understand like the scale now. So for example, I have a feeling a lot of gamers consider a game that's 8, 9, or 10 like worth a buy. If it's 7 or below, you don't buy it. Like I think a lot of people have that mentality. So you can't even tell the difference between what an 8, 9, or 10 is compared to an 8 or 7 or like a 7 or 6. Like I feel like it's pointless to rate games because not a lot of people really understand, right? It makes no sense. So I don't ever rate games.